Hi everyone, it's Wanda with the Armchair Cat Advocate, and I wanted to do this video because my friend Susan's texting me. I just, side note, it's good to have, it's when you're doing this kind of cat stuff, when you're doing TNR, trap, neuter, return, when you're doing colony management, it's good to have a friend that you can spout off to because, man, there's going to be moments like what just happened not long ago where you need to vent, you need to rant. And not everybody has a YouTube channel to do that, to, what are we up to now? 880, I think, subscribers. 80, it was like 82, dropped to 81. So I'm just going to average it out to 880. So we are really close to 1,000. Subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell. Yeah. On a serious note, something just happened about half an hour or so ago that I'm really at a loss as to how to handle this. So much at a loss that I texted my contact at City Council and said, hey, are you at work right now? Can I talk to you? I don't know how to handle this. And she texted me back and said, yep, I'm at work right now. Call me around 6. Okay, cool. So let me talk about what happened. And before we go into it, I just want to backtrack a little bit and introduce myself, because I know we have a lot of new subscribers here, and I have people that are coming on and saying, new here, just found you. Thank you so much. I don't know if you subscribed or not. If you haven't, if you're still thinking about it, cool. If you have subscribed, cool again. And if you're not subscribed, that's cool too. We're happy to have you here, no matter what your subscription status is. But let me just introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Wanda, and I got involved in this crazy world of TNR, which, for those of you who don't know, quick and sleazy TNR 101 for folks that aren't familiar with those terms. So TNR, also what I actually like to call it TNVR-CM. So TNR, you'll most commonly hear it referred to as TNR. TNR is trap, neuter, return. Basically, it's a way to help control the population of stray cats. So the theory behind it, and well, it's evidence, I think it's probably evidence-based at this point, is cats, they get trapped, they get neutered, they get returned to wherever it is that their territory is. So the idea, of course, is they're not going to reproduce anymore. If they don't reproduce anymore, we're not adding to the cat population. When those cats pass on and it creates a vacuum and new cats come in, then, the cycle starts again. TNR, trap, neuter, return. Eventually, you will see a decline in population, or you won't see any more cats, which is a good thing, because the goal and the dream of every person that does this, because we're not getting compensated for it, unless, of course, you're a certain channel that started an LLC to try to milk, people's heartstrings. Well, but we won't go there. But most of us are not getting paid for it, and we're not asking for any money for it. We're doing it because we care about the cats, because we're trying to help the cats, because we want the world to be a better place for people and cats. And we envision a world where every cat has a loving home. Actually, every pet should have a loving home, but that's very pie in the sky and not realistic, and we know it's never going to happen. but we can dream. And we hold tight to that dream when we have days like today. So, what I like to refer to this program is I like to call it trap, neuter, vaccinate, and return. And then the dash is colony management, which is where I step in. So once you have somebody come, they trap the cat, they transport the cat to wherever they're going to get spayed or neutered, the cat gets sterilized, the cat comes back to the area where its territory is. Hopefully they're vaccinated as well. And then, ideally, you have someone like myself who's a colony manager who makes sure the cats are fed, make sure the cats are watered, make sure the cats are safe, make sure the cats have shelter, checks their health. If there's ones that can be adopted, we try to make that happen. If there's ones that are having a problem, we try to mitigate the problem. It's that kind of thing. And again, the majority of us, and I'm saying this in all sincerity, the majority of people that do this, we are not asking for money. We are not out begging for money. We are not grifting for money. We are not out there. We're not here. I'm not here right now saying what I'm going to say next, which is I'm doing this on my time and my dime. I'm on disability. It takes a lot of my money and my time to take care of cats that I have no real responsibility for. Okay? I'm going to say that. Now, that being said, I am not doing that to tug heartstrings. I'm not doing that to try to elicit donations or money or anything from anyone. That would be another channel, not this one. I just want people to know the reality of what goes on with colony management. And sometimes it's very hard, like today. I got a comment today on a video that I put up. Very nice comment. Very nice. Not, this person, very nice, very respectful, kind of people that I want to be on this channel. Not the ones that like to stir the drama pot, not the ones that like to troll, not the ones that like to say snarky things when they're just sitting in front of their keyboard, eating Cheetos or whatever and playing at being a keyboard warrior. But the people that really legitimately get it, I appreciate them. I appreciate you. I appreciate every single one of you. And this person, I think, gets it. And basically what this person said was people need to be more responsible. People in general need to be more responsible. They appreciated what I'm doing. And then the other part of that was they hope that the cats are being spayed and neutered. And I'm going to respond to it. I'm slowly getting, I'm like, now that we're getting bigger and I'm basically the only person here, it takes me a little while to respond to comments, but I do try to look at every single one and I do try to respond somehow. Even if it's just, if you see a thumbs up and you see a heart, I saw it, I read it. I may not have time to respond to it, or it might be just, somebody might just put a couple of emojis, so I will just do a thumbs up and a heart for you, but know that I saw your comment, okay? And so this person was saying about, are they spayed and neutered? And I do want to make sure that everyone understands that, yes, the cats that I care for, we are, and I mean we, myself, and I have a city council member that has stepped in to help me. This is someone that I knew prior to her being on city council. I actually knew her from a different realm. We were in some of the same circles, and I knew her from that. And then, and I knew her mother has been a huge animal advocate. She's also, an animal advocate. Both of them were involved in cat rescue. And when I saw that she was running for city council, was like, oh, this is great. I've kind of gotten back and talking to her again because we kind of lost touch. I mean, in 2020, a lot of things went by the wayside. So I've just recently gotten back in touch with her, and she's helped me. She's already helped me get one of the cats spayed. That I wanted to get spayed because I'm having issues right now. I have a car that needs some repairs, and I'm on a fixed income, and I do have folks that do step up and donate. It's $20 to get the cat spayed and neutered. We through our local SBCA's community cat program. So they have a spay neuter clinic for TNR spay neuter clinic, and we're lucky that not only do we only have to pay $20, but also we have walk-ins. So we don't have to wait months to get them spayed and neutered. We can just walk in, drop off, pick up, good to go. So I had a pregnant female that I had been wanting. I mean, this poor baby, she had gone through, actually it was Mushu that you've seen in a video that I did early this morning. Little Moosh, she was being aggressively attacked by males, constantly pregnant. I don't know whatever happened to the kittens because I never saw any kittens. I don't know if she was having them somewhere and people were taking them, because that happens too. And yeah, sometimes there's nefarious reasons for people to take the kittens. We won't go into that because YouTube wouldn't like what I'd have to say about it. But long story short, the city council member, her name's Elsbeth. Elsbeth helped me transport her, and get her done. So she has been helping. So I have an issue right now that I'm going to talk to her about, and I want to talk to everybody about, because it's the perfect demonstration of a very irresponsible pet owner. Okay? And this is why some people should not have pets. Now, I've heard it said by people more than once that if you cannot provide, vet care or the basics or whatever for your pet, you shouldn't have a pet. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it goes by case. I think that's incredibly judgmental. I don't think just because someone's poor, they should be denied having a pet. I mean, just because people are poor, we don't deny them having kids, do we? I mean, that's a whole other video. But why deny someone having a pet just because they're poor? If they can give them the basics. I mean, there are a lot of people that can't afford a $20,000 vet bill. So I don't think someone who's poor should be slammed because they can't afford a $20,000 vet bill. And there are other ways to ensure that your cat's healthy other than just a vet. I mean, personally, myself, I have rescue friends. And these rescue friends have access to vets, or they are vet techs that are working under a vet. So, yeah. There's Petco, there's Tractor Supply, there's a lot of different places out there where you can get rabies shots for $20. You don't have to pay $150, and 100 of that is just a stupid office visit. Just to walk through the door, they charge you $100. The shots, if you look online, if you look at veterinary supply store or animal supply stores, it's not that expensive. Rabies vaccines are not that expensive. They're not. It's a racket. Like the human medical field is a racket. The vet field is just as much of a racket. And there's a lot that you can do to ensure that your animals are healthy without having to plunk down $150 for a freaking rabies shot that you can get at Petco for $20. So, just saying. So, I'm not going there in this video. We're not going to judge people. We're not going to say that, that person shouldn't have a pet for XYZ. The people that I want to talk about that I feel shouldn't have pets are the people like the neighbor. So let me talk a little bit about what's happening. So back in, I think, was it like maybe 22 or so? There's this little cat that used to come up on the balcony. She was friendly. She didn't seem to like the other cats, but she was okay with me. And she would come up and she would eat. She would come up and eat the food. And at one point, she was very plump. And I'm like, oh, I think she's pregnant. No wonder she's eating a lot. And then the next thing, she wasn't plump. And she disappeared. And it was weird because I'd see her and then I wouldn't see her for a while. And then I'd see her, then I wouldn't see her for a while. Then I'd see her and I wouldn't see her for a while. I'm like, this is just really weird. But I named her Nika. She seemed friendly enough. And I just thought, okay, another, colony cat. I wasn't sure. I mean, she'd show up. And at that point, I only had a few. I think I only had 6 colony cats. And there was only one that wasn't neutered. And that little bugger refused to get into a trap. We tried to trap him, I don't know how many times. Trap savvy. Some of them are like that. Some of them, it is a challenge to get them in a trap. And unfortunately, he's not friendly, so it's not like I could just go and pick him up like Mushu. Mushu, I was able to just pick her up, shove her in a carrier, bring her up here to the apartment, put her in a crate overnight, and first thing in the morning, before Elsbeth came to transport her, put her in a live trap. That's easy. It's great when they let you work with them like that. But Shizuku, you can't touch him. I reach for him, he swats at me. He doesn't want to go in a trap. He's a challenge. So sometimes you do have ones that you can't. But, everybody was done. Everybody was done. Responsible thing. Everybody was done. But then other cats started to come in. And it's people that feed, that bring them in. There's people that have cats, and we're going to talk about the neighbor now. There's people that have cats that don't get them spayed and neutered, that think, let somebody else worry about it. Somebody else's problem, not my problem. So this cat, and I didn't, for the longest time, I had no idea that this cat that I named Nika was actually belonged to a neighbor. One day I was coming into my apartment and the neighbor stopped me and said, "Excuse me, have you seen my cat?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Who's your cat? I don't know. What's your cat look like?" And she had this male black cat that is apparently she claims is neutered, that her husband let out, and they were looking for him. And I said, "Okay, well, I'll look for him." And as we got to talking, she said she had 2 cats. This black male cat that's neutered and lives inside, and Nika. Now, here's the thing with Nika. Nika is not spayed. Nika is pregnant more than she's not pregnant. And this is how they handle her pregnancies. This is how they handle the kittens. Instead of getting her spayed, and I said to this woman, I said, when I saw the cat, I was shocked because all this time I thought Nika was a stray. And all this time she was their cat that they refused to spay because, get this, she doesn't like to live inside. She wants to be outside. She doesn't want to live inside. Okay. Well, Abracadabra, who was born outside and spent the first couple of months outside before I started working with her and socializing her. And then I don't think it was until like the beginning of 22 or something like that I started bringing her in. So she was like 2 years old. She was like a year, 2 years before she even saw the inside of this apartment. Um, she's outside right now because she is technically a colony cat, but I let her come in when it's really cold or rainy or whatever. She also gets a flea treatment, and she's basically treated like one of the indoor cats, just like Tor is the same thing. The Tor is the same way. So I have two that are colony cats that do spend time inside here, but they get flea treatments, and they get, they make sure everything is, they get their, well, they both need rabies shots at this point, but they both are, they get the same treatment that the indoors get, including being spayed and neutered. So just because your cat doesn't want to live inside is not an excuse not to spay or neuter them. I want to make that very clear right now. And I asked this person, I said, well, is she spayed? No. Why not? Well, we can't afford it. It costs for our male cat, it costs like $400. Okay. Have you heard of the SPCA? Yeah. Okay, here's what you do. SPCA has a program where you go there, you can rent a live trap for $60. I'm sure you have a credit card. You have like 20 cars over there. I mean, these people, Amazon probably has their address on autopilot. Just saying. These people have no problem spending money on all other kinds of shit. So 400, go to the SPCA, you rent a live trap for $60. You stick your cat in there. You take your cat to the SPCA at 8 o'clock in the morning when they have when they have drop off. They have no wait, no appointments. Drop her off, pick her up the next morning, bing, bang, boom, you're done. And they're trying to tell me, oh, it's a 4-month wait. No, it's not. It's not a 4-month wait. It's not. It's not a 4-month wait for outdoor cats. It's not. Because they have, they have drop-off days. They have open, they have open drop-off days where you can drop off and you don't have to schedule an appointment. You don't need an appointment. You just drop them off. No appointment required. That's how Moosh was handled. I've never done it myself, but the people that I have talked to that have done it, they said they're very organized and it's very efficient. It's basically assembly line. And I don't mean that in a bad way. You take the cat in, you drop the cat off, you come back the next morning, you pick the cat up. And then I kept her here in a crate for about a week because she had been pregnant. She had to have her pregnancy terminated. So it was a little more of a complicated surgery than just a straight spay. Just to make sure that, just so she would keep her incision clean. She wouldn't be, running around like they do outside trying to survive. She could actually, she had a soft bed to sleep in and rest and recuperate. And after the week, she was ready to go back outside. But she spayed. And again, I'm not saying all the cats are spayed and neutered. They're not. Because it takes time. It's like it takes time, it takes money. But the female should be done. That female, and I think knowing now what I know, I think that's probably why we got so many cats all of a sudden ascending or descending into this area. Because there was two there were two unspayed females. Now there's only one, to my knowledge. There might be another. I don't know. But the spayed females usually do a good job of keeping the unspayed females out. Moosh was born out. She was kind of born into the colony, so I don't know. I don't know who her mother was, or where her mother came from. But I know Shizuku, the one that the male that I have such a hard time trying to trap, he was caring for those kittens. And that's something, another myth that people don't realize, is that a lot of times males do take care of the kittens. Rogue was a very good father. He was very, very protective of his kittens. Rogue goes outside too. He doesn't go out, he's not put out for hours and hours. He goes out at night, usually with me, and wanders around a little bit. But when I first brought him in, I had a hard time acclimating him to being an indoor cat. Eventually, after about a year or so, he settled down, and now he's settled down. But it took a long time for him to settle down. But he was neutered. Just because he didn't want to be inside, he was still neutered. And so what's happening now is she was pregnant again. And then I have this dumb biche neighbor that's downstairs, that's a tenant in this building, who's friends with them, and she's just as dumb as they are. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that people are dumb or stupid. I'm sorry to the people, the trolls that come at me about, you're being rude, calling people stupid. You know what? No. If you're stupid, you're stupid, okay? I'm sorry. There's no way to justify this kind of behavior. There's no way. They have enough money to do it. They definitely, if they can afford a diesel pickup truck, if they can afford a huge hybrid SUV, if they can afford huge vehicles like that, if they can afford that, if they can afford a mortgage and everything else that they do, all the stuff that they have, Amazon coming to their house every day, new furniture, if they can afford all that, I think they can find $20 to spay a fucking cat. So yeah, they are dumb. They are stupid. And I don't have a problem saying that. Because it's at the point now where it's impacting me. It's impacting my colony. It's impacting my ability to provide for my colony. Because now, apparently, the way that they would handle these pregnancies and subsequent birth of kittens is, when she got to a certain size, they would bring her in to their home, let her give birth, and then when the kittens were old enough, they would adopt them out, place them, give them to people, whatever. I don't know where they found all the homes for these kittens. I don't know what the ads they placed, and I'm sure that some of these kittens did not go to loving homes. In fact, I'm certain that there were kittens that did not go to loving homes, that they went to places we won't talk about. And things happen to them that we won't talk about because YouTube, again, wouldn't like it. But use your imagination. There's a lot of bad people out there with bad intentions. In fact, the last time that they had kittens, the neighbor that is in our building, she was going to keep 2 of them. I don't know how she was going to do that. I guess she was going to make them into emotional support animals too. Go online and buy a $200 certificate to make them emotional support animals. I don't know how she's going to justify it. But she was going to do it until her dog didn't like it. So she ended up giving them to somebody in a nursing home. I don't know how that works either. I'm not aware that nursing homes allow their residents to have cats. I don't know. And I said to her, I said, why are you doing this? I said, the neighbor in our building, I call her Mrs. Sanford. I said, Mrs. Sanford, why are you doing this? You're just enabling the behavior. The cat needs to be spayed. And she's like, oh, I don't know why they don't spay the cat. But that cat's a ho ho ho. Like, what did you just say? See, how can you not call somebody stupid with that kind of mentality? Like, honestly, leave a comment. If you can handle that situation better, when you have somebody that actually looks you in the eyes and calls a cat that, okay, the cat is at the mercy of these pathetic humans that are supposedly the cat's owners, pet parents, whatever. They refuse to spay the poor thing. It's a cat, okay? It's a cat. Cats can't give consent, all right? Animals can't give consent. Kids can't give consent. I wish YouTube wasn't so strict with what you can say and what you can't say. I wish that they do away with the censorship on this platform, really, because I would love to explain to everybody exactly what happens when two cats meet and fall in love and have a romantic, intimate relationship. I would love to describe it in detail because it is not pretty. It's painful. It's violent. And not to mention how bad the females feel during, it's painful for them, even through heat. I just don't understand people that refuse to get their animals spayed and neutered. I don't understand at all. I do not get it. We don't need any more. We don't need to see the miracle of birth. You don't need, I know you might love Fluffy or Buffy or whatever, but Fluffy or Buffy doesn't need to experience the wonders of motherhood or fatherhood or whatever. If you want your kid to see that, there's plenty of videos that you can show them. Actual scientific videos that will show you the miracle of birth very explicitly, graphically. You don't need that. We don't need to breed $1,000 cats when we have so many wonderful ones that you could pluck from the street, literally pluck from the street, and have a great, wonderful companion. I have cats. My friend, we have cats that can do high fives. We have cats that can do tricks. Just because Evie and Yoshi are purebreds doesn't mean that they're the only cats that can spin, do a stand, dance, whatever else they do. Yeah, they're cute. They're cute. I'm not going to say anything against them. They're cute. I watch them too, but I never like the videos. I'll watch the video, but I'll never like it. I won't give her a like or a comment because I would rather save that for folks like I Am Raven. If you haven't seen that channel, check that out. She's growing. She's, I think, like 5,000, 6,000 subs, but she's growing. I think she's a UK woman in Turkey or something, but she takes care of abused cats. She rescues cats that have been abused or injured. I'd rather support a channel like that. But spaying and neutering is important. It is. And when you have someone like Mrs. Sanford saying something stupid like, oh, the cat's a ho, 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 ho. No, the cat isn't. The cat isn't doing that because the cat has a choice. It's biology. It's just the way that they're wired. And I can guarantee you, she's not having fun. And I can see that with, little Mushu. Mushu's a happy girl. She was a happy girl when she was pregnant. When she was having kittens before she got spayed. But I'll tell you, I have seen a 360 since she's gotten spayed. When I brought her in, I will never forget. I have pictures. I documented her whole journey getting spayed on here on this channel if you want to watch it. When I brought her in, when I put her in the crate, first thing she did was she just collapsed. Look, I have mental health issues. I've been depressed. I've known plenty of people who've been depressed, and I would say that cat was depressed. Because she looked defeated. She was like, I just can't fight anymore. I'm just done. That's how she looked. Took her, got her spayed, brought her back. Within a couple of days, the cat that you saw in the video from earlier this morning follow me around the block. She is so happy. She's just so happy. She's so light. It's like she's buoyant. She's light. She's effervescent. She's so happy. And she never has to go through that again. And I want the same thing for Nika. She doesn't deserve that. No cat deserves that. She's not being cared for properly. They don't feed her. She now is, I'm feeding her. She is at the feeding station every day. If I go down in the middle of the day, she's there. She comes running. When I go out at night, she's there. She comes running. They're not feeding her. And today, when I went down, because she was out there, I took food down. Because it's supposed to get colder tonight and maybe rain. So I wanted to take food down early so they have time, because it's 5 o'clock now. I wanted her to have time to eat. To have time to eat before. If it does rain tonight, then that way they'll have food. She was down there. This last time she was pregnant. Okay? She was pregnant one day, and then like 2 or 3 days, she went missing. And I thought, oh, I bet they took her in. Because this is what they do. They take her in. I thought, oh, they took her in to let her have her babies in the house. And then she came back. Not pregnant. Like, oh, this is weird. Okay, this is new. She was pregnant. Went away for 3 days. And now she's back and she's not pregnant. Where's the kittens? And this is also at the time where we're having like severe cold weather, like 20 degrees Fahrenheit, cold. And I'm thinking, did they make her and I know they're not responsible enough. If they're not responsible enough to have her spayed, they're definitely not responsible enough to have her come in, give birth, and then throw her back out and bottle feed the babies themselves. So I'm thinking, okay, there's two other scenarios that happened. Either they let her go in, give birth, and they disposed of the kitten somehow, or alternatively, they just let her. They're just like done at this point. Like, I'm done. We're done. We're not going to place kittens anymore. Let her have her babies outside, and 20. They're not going to survive that. But then today, when I went down to feed, something odd. As she's eating, I'm hearing mew, 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 mew. That sounds like a kitten crying. That sounds like babies crying. And it's over where they live, over the neighbors. And I can't tell, and I'm thinking, she must have had them over there. They don't have any shelter for her. They have no shelter for her. In fact, I've seen her sleep on their doormat at the front of their house, on their doorstep. Because I said something to her. I said, "Oh, I've seen her." She goes, "Oh yeah, I've seen her sleeping on your doormat on your front door, by your front door." "Oh yeah, she does that." Like, do you think you could maybe put a shelter out for her? I mean, if she's your cat, if you want her to be an outdoor, fine. If you want her to be an outdoor, look, there are people that have barn cats. Okay. There are people that have barn cats. But the people that have barn cats, the ones that are good, responsible people that have barn cats, they care for those barn cats. Those cats have shelters. Those cats get fed regularly. Those cats get vetted. Those cats are spayed and neutered. I mean, if you want your cat to be, I mean, it's not recommended to have your cat outside. But we have countries like the UK that have cats outside all the time. It can be done, and it can be done relatively safely, depending where you're at. This is unreal. This is absolutely unreal. Because, was it last year? I don't remember if it was last year or not. She came with one kitten, one pathetic, skinny, scrawny little kitten. And he or she was still nursing, so I didn't want to take the kitten away, and I didn't have a rescue or anybody really to get help from at that point. So I was trying to figure out, what do I do with this, and then the kitten disappeared. But what upsets me at this point is, if these kittens are indeed outside, that means they're going to grow up outside. That means these people over here that refuse to spay their cat, they said it's their cat. They refuse to spay their cat. So because they refuse to spay their cat, she had another litter. I don't know how many are going to survive. But it doesn't matter, because what she's going to do now is she'll be bringing them all over to my feeding station, showing them, here's where the food source is. And now I have how many more cats that need to be spayed and neutered. This is the thing, and this is the thing that outrages me. I do this because I care about the animals, all right? But don't take advantage of my kindness, which is what I feel they're doing at this point, and what other people do too. And this is my message to everyone in general who doesn't spay and neuter their animal, who lets their animal outside, who says, "Oh, the crazy cat lady can deal with it." You know what? Crazy cat lady is going to deal with it, because the crazy cat lady is going to talk to someone from city council, and if the crazy cat lady can, that cat's not going to be their cat anymore. That cat's going to go, and that cat is at the very least is going to be spayed, and they're going to relinquish any kind of hold that they have on that cat, and that cat's now going to be part of my colony. And if there's kittens involved, we'll make sure they go to a rescue and they get adopted out. And that's going to be the end of it. No more. And I think on top of that, they need to actually compensate. And I think this is part of, and this is the other reason I wanted to do the video, because we are talking about trying to implement policy into the community to help protect colony managers as well as the cat colonies. And this is something that I think needs to be done. If you have a situation like this, they should have to compensate. They should have to compensate. They should legally have to compensate the person that's caring for their cat because they're not doing it. They're claiming it's their cat, but they didn't spay the cat. I doubt that cat's vaccinated. Cat's definitely not microchipped because I asked them that. They aren't doing anything for that cat except make her life a living hell and force her to... I mean, what if I wasn't feeding her? What if I wasn't here to feed her? So this is what I wanted people to understand. So when there's people that come at me and come at other colony managers about, well, your cats aren't all spayed and neutered. Why aren't your cats all spayed and neutered? No, the question should be, is why didn't the people who had the cats, I mean, because a lot of these cats had homes. A lot of these cats were owned at some point. Not all. Now, Moosh and Yum Yum, they were born outside. And I don't know if their parents, I don't know. I mean, I know Shizuku was born outside, so Shizuku was never an owned cat. But, the people that are the problem are the people that have cats, that own cats, that refuse to get them spayed and neutered. And don't tell me that you can't get them spayed and neutered. I mean, I went through this Christmas Eve. I spent time with a friend, and friend had a friend over, and that friend, another person. Now, I mean, she cares for a cat and everything, an indoor cat, but she had this cat that she had got one cat, didn't have him neutered, didn't get him neutered for over a year, because she said she didn't have the money. And I'm telling her all the time, take him to the SPCA. Oh, there's a 4-month wait list. Okay, look, I don't want to hear any more excuses about, oh, there's a wait list. Okay, there's a wait list, all right? You're going to wait a year anyway. You're going to let them sit for a year anyway, right? You don't have any money to do it. You don't have any money to take them to the vet. If you don't have money to take them to the vet and you're just going to let them... Here, you. Here. Somebody was pulling my jacket. Want to say hi? What are you going to be shy? Look. Say hi to Mark. Hi, Mark. Mom was picking me up. I don't like it. Okay. All right. You went down? You want to go on the... You want to go on the table? Go on the table. Go on the table. Get on the table. Get on the table. Go on. Get up there. Get up there. There you go. Let me see. I'll put this down a little bit so you can see him. There he is. No. There we go. I'll go up to the side here so you can see him. Mr. Bill. No, he's neutered. $60 at Adams SPCA. And I had to wait. Was it him? I can't remember if it was him or Niffler. The first one I got done pretty easily. The second one, no, it was him. It was Fury. I actually had to kind of beg for an appointment because they were talking about doing another shutdown. This was back in 2020. And I was like, no, I need to have him neutered. And they fit me in. So, yeah, there's ways that you can work around this. And there are places like he was, so at the Adams SPCA, it was $60. There's a place in Lancaster, which is a county away from us, it's $40. There's no excuse for this woman not to have this cat done. Well, it costs $600. Okay, well then maybe you should have thought about that before you got the cat. Because when she got the cat from some barn or something in Lancaster, and the cat was already pregnant. She's like, the cat was pregnant when I got it. Well, yeah. Because they weren't spaying the cats either. They were letting the mothers have the babies. It's like, why are you doing that? You can terminate the pregnancies with a spay. You can do that. Now, not all vets will do it. Some vets are, they have ethics and things, and they get into the weeds with that. But what's the alternative? We don't have enough loving homes for the animals that are already here. We don't. So, I'm just at the point where it's very frustrating when you have people that will not spay and neuter. And then other people like myself in the community, we're the ones that have to pick up the slack for them. It's not fair. It's a burden. It's a financial burden for me. I'm already struggling. I'm struggling because I'm caring for cats that aren't even mine. And I'm doing it because, again, I love them. And again, I'm not saying this to solicit money from anybody or gifts or anything. I'm not. I know I have a PayPal and I have an Amazon list, but I'm not saying it for those reasons. I'm saying it as a fact. We really need to start stressing the importance of spay neuter for folks. And if folks are finding barriers to spay neuter, then we need to eliminate those. But people also have to hold themselves accountable, because again, don't tell me that, I can't afford a $500, $600 spay. I can't. Okay, well then why don't you go to the SBA? It was a 4-month wait list. Okay. So it's a 4-month wait list. She's inside, right? She's not outside. She's not going to... Well, and that was the other thing that was her other, argument. But she's an indoor cat. Okay, she's an indoor cat, but she's still... It's painful for them to go through heat, to go into heat all the time. It's frustrating for them. It can lead to other health issues. It's not good. Get the damn cat spayed. Get the damn cat neutered. They're called tabby trappers. It's I don't know what their status is now, but they helped me when I was getting these cats done. And one of the founder's frustrations was people that were saying, well, I can't, that they couldn't get the cat or something. And her thing was, set the damn trap. It's that simple. Set the damn trap. I told her she needs to make t-shirts that says, set the damn trap. Get the cat in there and get the cat spayed or neutered. It's better for everybody. So that's my rant, my almost an hour-long rant, because I don't know if anybody else has this frustration, but I do. And the thing is, the kitten lady did a really good video one time about talking to people that maybe were resistant to getting the cats spayed or neutered or, trapped, or not relocating them, but rehoming them or finding homes for them, getting them adopted. And all I can say is that she just has so much more patience than I do. And it's just really frustrating. So I think that's the gist of what I had to say, because I did want to address the person that was asking, are the cats that I'm caring for spayed and neutered? Yes. The short answer is yes. the longer answer is not all of them, but we are working on it. We do have some that aren't. But we do have the original colony is Mushu's done. We had massive construction here for over a month on this building. So the cats were not coming like they normally were. So we really weren't able to trap. And then, I want to be able to have them in here for a day or two to recover. And there's just all these people wandering around. I mean, they liked the cats. The guys liked the cats because some of them have cats themselves. But it's just a lot. Just too many people, too much commotion. Cats were scared. The cats were not. Are you going to do a buoy? Are you going to do a buoy over there? Can you do a buoy? Can you do a buoy? Make yourself presentable and then do a buoy. Did you see I cleared your table for you? Mr. Bill. Fury. Did you see that I cleared your table? He says, well, it's about time. So, let me down here a little bit. You can see him. Oh, no. Bless you. Bless you, Mr. Bill. So I think that's all that I have to say in this particular rant. And, I do appreciate the new people coming in. I don't want to scare anybody off, but this is something that really is irritating to me. And I know it's irritating to a lot of other people that do this kind of work. It is hard. It's hard. We're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to get the cats spayed and neutered. The very least that the communities around us could do is to take responsibility for their own cats and have them spayed and neutered so they're not reproducing. And if you have a cat that, I really think that a lot of the cats that do get put out because of the behavioral issues that go along with cats that aren't fixed. So there's that as well. They make much better pets. And the boys really stink. They really smell. A lot of them really smell if they're not neutered. Fury, you didn't smell, did you? No. He said I didn't smell. I got done when you're a good boy. Are you winking at me? Are you winking at me? Do you want to tell everybody how you got neutered? He says, yeah, no big deal. Didn't change my personality at all. I'm a happy boy. He never even had that part of his life. He was about 6 months old. They can get done earlier than that, but he was inside, so I waited to close to 6, 5.5 or so, and then got him done. Yeah, got you done, huh? You want to say hi to everybody? Aw, can you do a buoy? Can you do a buoy for everybody? Can you do a buoy? No? You can't? Okay. Well, I'm not sure why, but he's refusing. I guess I don't have to look at the terms of his contract. I guess he's only required to do so many buoys a week, and I guess he's at his limit. So I think I'm going to leave it there, and yeah. I'm going to have a conversation. It's about 20 of 6 now, so 6 o'clock I'm going to be calling my friend from City Council and talking to her and asking her what she would do. See if there's anything that maybe she can do, or maybe she can talk to them, or we can, because that's the real issue is they consider themselves the owners, and I could see them being a problem. So I don't want to just take the cat, even though at this point probably legally I could. So I guess I'll just be doing an update. So I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me for the last hour. Unbelievable. I talk that much. I talk too much. I talk too much. Way too much. And I guess I will see you guys in the next one. So goodbye for meow.